One of the ways you can recognize it is by this little dimple, which is kind of hard to see, it's pretty subtle, but this little dimple right here gives it away, at least for certain types of JIS screws. Over here, you'll notice that there's some extra lines in here. This is what's called a posi-drive screw. Now, posi-drive is very common in Europe, and it's used there as well as in a lot of our applications here, like cupboard hinges and things like that here in America, but it uses a totally different drive mechanism than the JIS and then the Phillips. Usually, however, we grab our Phillips screwdriver for all three, and I'm going to show you why there is one version of screwdriver that can work well with most all of these screws and do a better job than the Phillips can. Personally, I'm definitely not a fan of the slotted screwdriver, or their more commonly known name of flathead. Now, the slotted screwdrivers are great. They've been around forever, but they are difficult to work with. They slide out, and they served a purpose for a long time until better things came along. So the Phillips screwdriver has been around longer than any of these other types that we're going to talk about today, but it had one purpose in mind when it was made. It was used a lot on the Ford assembly line for assembling Model Ts, but more importantly, it was used a lot when assembling airplanes for the war. Now, a lot of these airplanes had aluminum hulls, and with that, they needed to have a certain amount of torque that could be applied. If you apply too much, it would sink the screw in too much and get right through the aluminum, rendering it pretty much useless. Or if you torqued it too much, it might break off the head.